Guys, what is going on, and welcome back to another video on Conqueror's Blade, as we're going to be diving into, well, a second video on the Hashashins. The word that I still cannot really say, it just doesn't really roll off the tongue very well for me. Anyway, a unit that obviously has been released this season, although we're right at the far end of the season now, but one that I've been really enjoying, and I kind of feel like people played them a little bit when they came out. Obviously, they're quite hard to unlock, so a lot of people probably haven't even been able to get to them, completely understandably. But those people who did get them kind of have not really been playing them through, and I'm finding them really an enjoyable unit and actually to be quite effective. So I thought we'd have a second video, now I've been playing them a bit more, dive into them a little bit, some of the mechanics, and kind of in what situations do they work really nicely. So, veterancy-wise, same as before, I'm still using them on the bottom line. I kind of like using their one ability a lot to engage initially in combat, their prowl, and so they deploy smoke now with this bottom line as they engage in that prowl. Though for me, I find that works out quite nicely, but there is quite a few viable lines down here. Things like this, which their Eviscerate is their main damaging ability. Absolutely critical, this is where you really get their burst damage from, so again, middle line, perfectly viable. And then top line getting things like the shortened action point recovery and things like that. But I think things like this, you get 6 action points. Normally the fight's over or you're dead by the time you're getting close to using them all up. So for me, it doesn't really be all that helpful. They also have a specific smoke bomb ability, which I do occasionally use, but I find the animation time it takes for them to deploy it, I prefer just to be quicker on the opportunities and strike in the right moment. I find the extra second that you gain by not throwing it sometimes to be of benefit. In terms of doctrines, nothing particularly special. There's 2 unit-specific ones, the extra penetration one and the double strike, so each unit can hit 2, and they're both coming from the seasonal challenges. On top of that, we've got a siege fighter, bit of extra unit damage. It's just a purple version of the breakthrough doctrine, basically, and the little epic damage doctrine, which I can't remember where I picked that one up. It was one on an end of a season extra quest or something like that, just to bump that damage an extra little bit higher, because that's always nice. Right, let's hop into some battles with them. Let's see how we can do and see who we can do some assassinating on. So we kick things off on the La Grande Glory, the French seasonal siege map, where I actually slightly forgot to start the recording at the start, so we've actually had 10 kills or something already. But anyway, we're defending the final point, and this is where I think this unit works really, really well, because there's enough flexibility, as we nearly get hit by a treb. We did take some damage, but I don't think we actually managed to lose a model. So anyway, coming around, thinking some shield maidens over there, okay, they're an interesting target. I don't want to be the one to take them head on, but I can be the one that does the damage. So the fight goes over, we go straight in, cavalry there, and we can just go straight to town, go straight on with my Eviscerate, grab a couple of hero kills, and get some chunks on the shield maidens as well. That's the burst damage. This unit bursts super, super hard. Come back over, a couple of, I don't know, they're squires or men at arms. I can't tell, they're in some sort of attire. But anyway, either way, we can get them down more than easy enough. But you see, I pull back from the face of the stalwarts. I don't want to be going toe-to-toe frontally to an enemy shield unit, because that's where the unit really starts to struggle. But anyway, come around the corner. These Romans obviously kind of caught into a fight from the other direction. We can get around the back, and you can see we get 10, 12 unit kills almost instantly, because the unit just bursts down really nicely. And you can see what I mean about their action points. I would say we've been in a fairly intense selection of fighting there. Quite a few little individual battles. They just recharge super quickly. It's really not a problem. Anyway, a few berserkers. Not really a problem. They initially try and back out of the fight, which is a little bit of a mistake. But because these guys, when you press 2, when you press their Eviscerate, they sort of hone in. They get a movement speed buff as well. And you see how they all target the individual berserker models and hero, which they basically insta-kill. That's why they can deal with berserkers quite nicely, because they can just burst damage them down. They almost do to berserkers what berserkers do to everything else. Anyway, a little bit nervous here thinking about that cavalry. Didn't want to get charged down, but we do have some friendly pikes, and as the cavalry backs off, I see that I need to be getting back round and onto the point. Not quite sure what these stalwarts thought they were going to achieve facing in that direction, but anyway, easy couple of kills as we just drag the unit into the back of them. Didn't even really need to use my one ability there to get them to smoke as they leap in. Because we're behind, it's almost better to just X the unit into the fight and just get that burst damage on. So, still holding the point, kind of looking then for the next opportunity. Got quite a few pikes and stuff over there, but as that stuff is looking on the main base point, the back of these halberdiers started to exposed. And this is, again, perfect opportunity for here. We actually do quite a lot to help save the cav. Get in, bang, and we pretty much wipe the full stack of halberdier sergeants there for no losses. And that's what I mean when I said this unit's damage potential is super high. Lump into the larger fight, a little bit more risky here as we get in, but actually because it's quite a dispersed fight, there's quite a lot going on, we can cut through really quite easily, and we're up to 170 kills now. Not with this the unit in total, I think we're up to sort of 90, 100 kills with this unit. And we can keep dragging them on. And then it really just kind of turns into a little bit of a rout here as we just charge down anything and everything that we can possibly find. Another little unit of halberdier sergeants as well. Let's get a little bit overconfident here. But still, we can actually get the bulk of the unit down really kind of easily. Both heroes go down, and bang, we still manage to wipe the halb sergeants. But even one-on-one, the unit seems to do pretty well. Little clip on Hidden City, come up on the walls, we've got a dual blade and a chain and scimitar with a unit of shield maidens. Managed to pull myself up, just get sieged straight in, straight on in the eviscerate. Dual blade tries to go for me but gets taken down, and so does the chain dart, and we can just completely wipe the unit of shield maidens for no losses. So the unit actually can do pretty well, even just on those sort of higher tier fights. And finally, on a little bit of Valley Fortress. Enemy starting to push the walls up on the A. Really not where this unit is going to do very well in those head-to-head fights. So we come back round as we get some enemies come through the gates and try and focus down some of the enemy heroes we've got coming in. Managed to get a lot of the glaive down and the chain dart down relatively easily. And then we're just up then against the nice few little pike units, which the unit could just use their eviscerate on really kind of nicely and easily. Fortunately, didn't manage to save that many of the archers, but still managed to do a double hero kill and a bit of unit damage. So with them dead, trying to look where I want to go next. Got quite a bit of stuff starting to threaten the staircase here, and I decided that's probably where we're going to go for next. Got some enemy berserkers that have been pushing down, so we can take the fight with them, use the eviscerate on them, and as before, kind of deals with those berserkers quite nicely. Actually, an enemy Hashashin there. Kill him! There we go. And as we come up onto the walls, we have got a few more enemies in front of us. Some of the shields should we just go straight in for, but we do end up getting straight into a unit of shield maidens, and this is where we end up struggling quite a lot more. I go on with the unit of smoke there to try and give them a little bit more time, trying to reactivate constantly my eviscerate, and we get quite a bit of damage in, but ultimately it's kind of the treb that really finishes the unit off. And so I guess that's probably how most of my battles go with them. Sort of 30, 40, 50 kills. Seems to happen quite a lot of the time. They are a decent unit, but they're obviously not probably as meta as some of the stuff that's currently in the game at the moment. Anyway, been having a lot of fun playing around with them. It's nice to kind of test out and try different units from time to time. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, do let me know what you think in the comments down below. And of course, subscribe to the channel for lots more Conqueror's Blade content. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you all on the next one.